Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Liberty Libations. Sorry about the late start. I was having some technical difficulties, as is the case
It
very
was probably my fault
regularly these
somehow.
days with my doofus, dumb. I hate it, and it's driving me absolutely crazy. But welcome to Liberty Libations. Welcome to the complaining suck fest that this is tonight. We're gonna try to pick it up and get more positive here in a little bit.
So we should talk about 9/11.
So we should talk about 9/11. We should definitely talk about the state of the Libertarian Party after the LP convention. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Yeah, we've got a phenomenal guest coming on tonight. His name's Tom Jandron. He's running for U.S. Senate. He's coming on around about halfway through the show. So in about 50 minutes, he'll be on. And we're going to talk to him about his campaign, about the war in Iran, and the war and defend the guard, which he is a huge proponent of. So we'll get to that here in a little while. But before we do, Alden, what are you drinking tonight, my man?
I'm halfway through it now because we're a little late, but I got like some kind of crazy punch situation going on, and then I got just a Modelo also, just because I gotta have something to crack,
That is very fair. We need that crack at the beginning.
You gotta have your crack.
We also need crack at the end.
Yeah,
different kind of crack. Zane, what do you got? What do you got tonight, man?
I'm also on the Mexican beer tonight because I just got a Corona.
Nice.
Got a theme.
I'm at my sister-in-law's house, and she had a few whiskeys. This one is Elijah Craig.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which is
what
pretty
year?
Good. Small batch. I don't know what year. It's a good question. Doesn't say.
Some of the Elijah Craigs are pretty good in the 10 to 15 year. They can get pretty nice.
It doesn't say. It just says 1789, and I doubt this was distilled then.
Bottled in 1789. That's a very good year.
It's very well aged.
Yeah.
Don't give Pappy Van Winkle any ideas.
Seriously.
Yeah, for real.
Well, y'all, I was supposed to have really good audio tonight. I had my whole setup out here. I set up outside in my sister-in-law's beautiful backyard down here in Vegas.
I was going to say, it looks like you should have a Mexican lager because it looks like Mexico there. But
so last night we had a bunch of margaritas. So
there you go.
Yeah, it was great. But y'all, Zane was there for a couple days, but me and most of Peaceful Sea Network were up at the Libertarian National Convention this past weekend. I was there for a week, 6 days there. We had a booth set up. We had, probably the most elaborate booth that anyone had at the convention. We had a whole podcast set up. In case you missed any of it, we're going to be releasing our full recap, which is about an hour long, that happened directly after the convention. We're going to be releasing that by itself either later tonight or tomorrow. And if you want to know how convention went and what our true thoughts are, you should go check that out when it comes out.
The unfiltered thoughts.
Yeah, we also shot some interviews while we were there. So we shot an interview with Scott Horton. We got Dan McKnight. We got, who else did we shoot with?
That's kind of cool already.
I'm blanking on a bunch of stuff at this moment. But John Padfield. We got a bunch of great interviews while we were there. So be on the lookout for those. Lynn Ulbricht, Lauren Rodriguez.
Man.
Yeah, it was a good time. And
this does now mean that my Rogan number is officially 2, because I've been on the show with you. You've been on the show with Scott Horton, and Scott Horton was just on the Joe Rogan Experience.
There we go.
Like the degree of separation or whatever. Okay. I didn't know this was a thing, the Rogan number.
Yeah. Everyone in the podcasting world has a Rogan number, just like actors have a Bacon number.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon, not the.
Okay, I was wondering.
It's 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon.
My Bacon number is 3 days. I don't know. 3 days ago.
Michael Scott's bacon number is setting it out the night before and then eating it the next morning, uncooked.
Wow, what a reference!
I know. I literally just watched that episode.
I don't remember that. That's gross.
Yeah, it's the episode where he burns his foot because he leaves uncooked bacon on a George Foreman grill right next to his bed, wakes up with his alarm, turns on the George Foreman grill, goes back to sleep, and wakes up to bacon. But instead, he woke up and stuck his foot in the fryer.
Perfect. Yeah.
They just don't make TV the way they used to, do they?
They do not.
There's a great stand-up bit floating around the internet about the George Foreman grill. It's, if you've not seen it,
no, that's a
really
good
funny.
One.
Yeah,
that's a really good one. Yeah, the one where
shouldn't we put an on-off switch?
button?
Yeah, he's like, nope, just plug it in, and it's 600 degrees. Turn it off. Yeah, put it on an angle. Yeah.
Well, Zane, I know you weren't there the entire weekend, but I'm interested to know what your thoughts were at the end of Libertarian National Convention, because for those who don't know, back in like about 2016 to 2018, there was a group of people that didn't like what the Libertarian Party had been doing for a long time, and I was one of those people. It was not going well. It was going very much leftist ideology, going hard that direction, and so there was a plan was hatched to take over.
Is this the Mises?
Yeah,
plan
was hatched to take over the Libertarian Party using the Mises Caucus. And it was formed in, I think, like 2017 or something like that, and some big names joined it. And in 2022, we succeeded, and we took over the party, expecting a Dave Smith presidential run. And what happened was his son got sick, and he bailed, basically. I mean, he decided not to run for president. And so it was kind of like we were in the middle of a 1-2 punch, and one landed, and the arm got chopped off entirely, and we're sitting there bleeding to death on the
That's
boxing
an interesting
floor.
finish to that analogy. That's so common in boxing.
Someone from the audience hurled a saber across the ring, and it just sliced the arm clean off.
A tale as old as time.
And so it kind of took the wind out of the Mises Caucus, out of the whole movement. It was a huge movement. Like, the number of people that came into the party during that time was insane. It was a lot of people, a lot of energy, and a lot of really, really good politics. And since that point, the wind was kind of taken out, and the recruiting got less, the zeal got subsided, and we kind of floundered. And this year, those same lefties that we took it away from a few years ago took it back entirely. They have control of everything now. It was a major loss for the Mises Caucus. We fought hard, but we just didn't have the numbers this convention. And so that's kind of where it stands at the moment. If you're more of a lefty-leaning person, you might like the LP at the moment, but just know that they're not always going to be preaching LP values or really fighting for that cause. So, yeah, Zane, in light of all that, what were your thoughts on convention, being there and seeing what was happening?
Yeah, so I think the nature of a political party is it's always going to attract the sort of person who has some extra time on their hands, who doesn't mind the BS of parliamentary procedure. And there are some people who are right libertarians who can stomach that, but it's really going to attract either kind of the activist class or the people who just like that sort of thing. And I think it attracts the sort of person I'm having a hard time explaining this as I have to some people who I've talked to about it since I've gotten home, who have asked me, oh, how did the convention go? And I'm like, oh, everyone I voted for lost. And they're like, oh, well, why is that? And I don't want to rehash all the Libertarian Party drama to them, because to someone who's not a libertarian at all, it can really be a lot of inside baseball. But it's like, oh, they're the right libertarians and the left libertarians, and they agree on a lot of policy, but they can't stand each other in spite of that. what am I trying to say here? I should have come with a prepared statement. I think what we've learned from this is that there's not going to be a scenario in which the left libertarians just leave. They're always going to be around. And I think maybe had we gotten the Dave Smith presidential run in 2024, maybe we could have brought so many people into the LP on the right side that it kind of achieved critical mass, so to speak, to kind of become self-sustaining, because that as a very small political party, there's a lot of overhead that you have to have when you're a political party, that when you're Republicans or Democrats, to like run the machinery of the party, it's so big that you can kind of distribute what has to be done among a lot of people. So there's a lot of other people who can spend time doing other things rather than just operating the machinery of the party. When you're the Libertarian Party and very small, you still have a lot of the same kind of admin stuff. And it's
Everyone
the admin
wears a
stuff
lot
that
of
I think
hats, like,
appeals to, or at least doesn't drive away, people who kind of don't have a lot of other stuff going on in their life, which are more likely than average to be conservative people with families, especially. But so all of this admin stuff needs to be done. And so you can really burn people out if it's the same people who are, like, if it's the same 20 people who are having to do everything all the time. And especially if it's the same 20 people having to do everything all the time, and there's constant infighting between different factions. And so had we brought in this big wave of people into the party, that it became possible to distribute the work among more people, and the Libertarian Party became a place where we actually could use it as a base of operations to do different things. Like, obviously running candidates would be part of it, but just have a centralized place where the Liberty movement could be, organize its campaigns, organize its messaging, organize endorsements perhaps of other candidates, just to use it as a base camp where it's other things are going on rather than just having to do all the admin of having a political party. Then that would turn it into a party that would have attracted more and more people to it, which would have made the whole thing better and better and better. But when the Dave Smith presidential campaign didn't happen, the win kind of got knocked out of the sails for some other reasons. People kind of didn't stick around for as long as we may have hoped. People didn't join at the same pace that we had hoped. And so the people who were left in the Mises caucus, it's like, oh, we're 2 or 3 years removed from Reno. We're still having to do all of this admin stuff ourselves. We're still having to fight, other factions all the time. There's just not a lot of we're not accomplishing anything really for Liberty because we're having to spend all this time just running the party. And so the dream of using the Libertarian Party as a base camp didn't happen. And so it's really, we have to question, is it worth putting all of this time and effort into something that it's like, the only way it would be worth it to put all this time into a small party that has all of its logistical challenges is if you could really effectively use it. The possibility of really being able to use it effectively for anything seems to have gone by the wayside. So where do we go from here? I'm not sure it's really worth it to continue to fight over something that, even if we do take control of it again temporarily, we'll have all these same problems. So that was even more rambly than I typically am, and it's because I haven't even fully made my mind up on several aspects of it. Oh, hey, Grumpy.
So yeah, actually, Grumpy ran for Libertarian National Chair, and Wikipedia still hasn't entered him as a loser of that race. All the other people are listed, but he's not.
Whoa, that's weird if you're isolated in that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I have a question for
Yeah.
Zane or either of you that if you have insights into this as a silver lining way to look at some of this, I guess. I don't know. But could it be in the long game somewhat advantageous for there to be a period where the Libertarian Party is run by or does seem to lean a little bit more left than it's usual for a while, to almost, because I feel like there's this sort of like stigma about the Libertarian Party that it's been associated lately like with more the right, and people are like, oh, it's like the other Republicans kind of thing, like, you know, and it's not that at all. But like, to someone who doesn't know anything about it, could there be a benefit to like reaching out to more people? Because I feel like whether you come from the right or you come from the left, I don't give a shit if it gets the Libertarian Party more people, more attention, you know, and then maybe solve some of the problem that Zane is talking about eventually getting more people to kind of diffuse some of that like logistic work and blah, blah, blah. But
so I think that's one of the catch-22s of trying to bring people into a third party that is in a political landscape that's so dominated by two parties, is if you lean one slight bit one direction or the other,
you get branded as
that team
adjacent to light is funny. I like that.
Republican light, Democrat light. And so like I do think the natural state of libertarianism falls slightly more to the right than the left, if you're just going based on these two parties.
And that would be spectrum. These two parties like today too, maybe, you know, who knows where that'll be in 20 years. I don't know, but
yes. And so it's going to be difficult, man. And I kind of agree with Zane. I don't really know where to go from here. Like there's a part of me that is like, look, we can run the tables. Like we've done it before. We can do it again. Like we tried it once. We can learn from our mistakes. We can do it again. And it'll just take a lot of work. But the issue is, so Alden, you asked, like, would it be worth it to see how they run it for a little while and see what the effects are?
The effects more broad, less so interested in how, quote unquote, how they run it as in the party. Because we may not like that as much, but like the effects of like, does it appeal to a different group of people that, you know, opens it up to, you know, more interest that wouldn't have been there had it been the status quo up until this point, you know?
Yeah. And
because you may not like it as far as the policy changes or the, you know, I don't know, but so I care less about it. But
they did run it for 20 something years.
Oh, and that's fair enough. Yeah.
And so they had all the time. And the thing that they always hang their hat on is they had more members. They had more membership. But what they didn't tell you is the membership still declined from the year like 2004 until now. Like the membership's just been steadily declining, and I think it's because
that's frustrating actually, just to hear in general that since then there's been less interest in a third party. But that's the Trumpy bullshit. Yeah. That you get when it divides people into, and then they're like, you're either really fucking sucking Trump's dick or you really want to chop it off. Like I hate it so much because it pulls people away from a reasonable middle or outside or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and so like a legitimate strategy that people in Montana are using and that people around the country are using is like having libertarian values but running as Republicans. And trying to,
because that's the one that can win, like, or whatever.
Yeah. And like we share enough values with them.
Maybe we'll have a bunch of moles then in the Republican Party. I don't know.
I mean, we have some of those right now, but they also have some of the in our party as well. I mean, look, there's two sides to this cancer, and they're on full display at all times. Like on the right side of the issue is Jeremy Kauffman and LP New Hampshire, who yes, they've grown their party more and made more money and gotten more attention and more subscribers and followers than any other, than all the other LP state affiliates combined. Like they're a force. That being said, the way that they're doing it is the exact same problem that I have with the left side, which is there are no morals involved at all. Like there's no, what they're doing is they're playing to the far extremes of libertarianism, both sides. And so the right side you're going to end up with a bunch of folks that you just don't want to be friends with. A lot of neo-Nazi type crap, white supremacist type stuff. It's just playing to the extremes, being like, look, we accept you because we're tolerant of these ridiculous views, because everybody should have their own opinion on things as long as you're not physically hurting other people. Whereas the left does the same thing with, the gender stuff, the trans stuff, like all of that. It's two extreme sides of the argument, and they're both hurting the party in very problematic ways that are making the majority of Americans don't fall on the extremes, they fall in the middle. And if we want to get more people involved in the Libertarian Party, you have to play to the middle. You can't be going to the crazy extremes that's going to turn off your everyday person who's walking down the street. Like,
we have to be. Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
So we want to turn on random people on the street, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I know you do, Alden. Zane, what were you?
I should be so lucky. Yeah.
I think we need to be clear when we're saying that we don't say, oh, we just need to become milquetoast, because
correct.
Libertarianism is radical. And
yes.
I think that we need to not shy away from that. But we also should recognize that, like, libertarianism.
What is milquetoast?
Milquetoast?
Like
we'll come back to that.
Like as unoffensive as possible.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
But to your point, Jake, that you think that libertarianism is naturally a little bit more to the right than it is to the left. I think that properly understood, libertarianism itself is not right or left, because it's purely a philosophy of what do you think the state should do. However, that is not the same thing as saying that if you're a libertarian, you're neither right nor left. Everyone, right. In addition to being libertarian or not, everyone is right or left or somewhere in between there. Yeah. And so I don't shy away from the fact that I am explicitly a right-wing libertarian. And people who are left-wing libertarians view the state the same way that I do. But in terms of, like, what is our ideal society look like? I do not agree at all with a bunch of other people who would rightly describe themselves as libertarian, because the right-left divide is about way more than just, it's partly about the state, but it's also about, like, how much do you...
But I like separating the cultural side from the policy side. And with the Libertarian Party, you kind of have that, where you're like, you can have two different whole cultures under the same policy vision umbrella a little bit, which is kind of cool, honestly. In a way, it's fun to be able to be like, oh, wow, there's like people of widely differing cultural beliefs that have the same, like, what the state should do policy level agenda, like, in mind. Is, I don't know. In one world, it's inspiring. I don't know.
I guess it's cool, but this is also why we have such a problem trying to cooperate in the same party, because your vision of the ideal society is going to impact how you message it. Like, if you're fully bought into, like, the social justice, gender theory stuff, then you're not going to like it when a right-wing libertarian comes along and accuses that of being propaganda in service of the state. And even if it's not of the state, still identifying it as something that needs to be opposed. So, like, I would identify one of the prime values of left libertarianism as maximal self-expression. And I think Star Child is the perfect example of this, where it's this guy that comes to convention and every day he has on the most ridiculous outfit imaginable. And it's like, embarrassing. But in the left libertarian framework, it actually makes perfect sense, because in his mind, we're all here to gathered in support of everyone doing whatever they want and everyone else celebrating anytime someone does whatever they want. And
I can see the logic behind it, but
yeah. And then on the right side, you have Jeremy Kauffman debating on the stage for LNC chair, calling somebody a fat, ugly faggot who's asking a question in the audience. Like, that's the other side of the coin that I'm talking about. Like, that's going to turn off so many people. And same with Star Child. Like, those are the two exact dichotomies that I think of when I think of
like representative of the polar opposite side within one quote unquote party or whatever.
In fact, I would love to see a Jeremy Kauffman Star Child boxing match at some point in time.
Where someone gets their arm cut off, you know?
Yes.
So like at this point, I'm like most interested in doing what works. If running as a libertarian is going to work, then do that. If running as a Republican is going to work, then do that. This is why I actually approve of a lot of what LPNH has been up to, because undeniably the Free State Project has been a massive success compared to anything else that libertarians have ever tried. So, and if we don't recognize that, then I don't think we're like living in the real world.
So you support libertarianism by proxy, like where it's like individuals that run as one of the main two parties.
Little L libertarianism.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, even aside from that, it's like just doing things in your community that might not directly be political, but will increase your own freedom. If that's what you want to do, then do that.
Masturbating in bushes.
But I think
wouldn't advise.
It's so free though, you know.
The left libertarian wing has always kind of been an alliance between people who would own the label of left libertarian, or at least not shy away from it, and kind of people who would probably dispute if that you called them a left libertarian, but I would call them professional libertarians, where their primary goal is to like do everything the exact same way that the big parties do. And this is why I would say the professional libertarians are completely allergic to ever doing anything besides run libertarian candidates all the time. And if you said, let's endorse a Republican because they agree with us on a lot of things, they'd be like, no, we can't do that because they're a Republican and this is the Libertarian Party. But I do think that line of reasoning fits a lot better with the left libertarian paradigm than it does with the right libertarian one. Because part of what it means to be on the right is kind of being more okay making peace with authority, broadly speaking, and being more okay with accepting your role in a broader community. And so I think
very different.
No, I think they're actually very closely related to each other. But we can get into that later as soon as I finish
go for
wrapping this point up.
Yeah.
I can sit here as a right libertarian and say I'm willing to vote for people who aren't libertarians because they represent, broadly speaking, what I'm trying to accomplish. And it doesn't matter if I don't get 100% of what I want. I have identified this as, practically speaking, what's most likely to result in real freedom. The left libertarian would say, if I support someone who's not a libertarian, then I am not being maximally true to myself as a libertarian. Any amount of compromise would be a betrayal of my values, and therefore it cannot be contemplated. So I think this is why kind of the professional old guard libertarians, I think, prefer the left libertarians to the right libertarian Mises Caucus people, because the Mises Caucus has always been more open to doing things in a more non-traditional way, whereas the left libertarians are always perfectly happy to say, oh, we need to go out and gather signatures and raise money for our candidates, in a way that a right libertarian might say, what are we doing this for? This is a waste of time.
I'm actually going to bring up the thing that I was talking about to you, Zane, before the show, because somehow this feels pertinent with the like elephant hunting thing or whatever. So the quick version is like, I was talking to my sister about this one time, and she's like, I don't understand people that hunt elephants. That shouldn't be allowed, you know? And I was like, well, and I'm no elephant hunter, but I was just telling her that like the money that from the rich dentists that go hunt the elephants actually goes to fenced preserves to where they pay, that money goes to pay people to keep poachers from killing the goddamn elephants. And the numbers show that like actually letting people go hunt them and rhinos and whatever the fuck else, it helps the numbers. But ideologically, she's very opposed and she didn't want to like, hear what I was saying with that or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you just kind of look at the numbers and go like, okay, allowing something that is on paper or whatever, like opposes, your value to you personally, emotionally, but like being able to kind of go around that and outside that and see the big scope of it. This kind of feels like what you were saying with like the left just being like, left oriented libertarian style kind of a thing, being more just like, you vote for the Libertarian. It doesn't matter who the candidate is. It doesn't matter. You just, you do the thing for the party and you go get the signatures and you do door to door and you do the same old whatever. Whereas someone that's maybe outside of that being like, hey, but like, if we do this, we might actually end up with more freedoms, which supports our values if we go about it this other kind of like, unorthodox way. And it sometimes feels counterintuitive or wrong, but if you are able to kind of see it in a different way. And I do think there's just two different types of thinkers, or many different types, but in this way, two different styles.
So Alden, you're right, man. Like this is something. So we've had Sean Kennedy on the show a few times, and I interviewed him up in Grand Rapids this last weekend. It was maybe my favorite interview of the weekend. It was a great conversation. Could have chatted with him for like a couple hours, but we talked about purism, like purist thought on on strategy and how to do things, and as far as principles are concerned, versus doing things that actually get things done. And so, like
result oriented, not process oriented or whatever. Like
so the purist view tends to get fewer things done, and has no incremental change. It'll just change in huge, massive shifts when everything aligns perfectly for that cause. Whereas if you work with people and work on things and try to increase whatever principles you're trying to spread, you can slowly get incremental change and progress, but you'll feel a little bit dirty along the way.
Yeah. I feel like I understand what you mean by the feeling dirty. That's the thing, though. It's a feeling based thing, and I think some people are able to navigate that dissonance a little bit better than others. Or differently than whatever. But.
It's a tough line to walk. It's not for everybody. There are going to be purists out there, and the purists, they're needed. I was
just going to say the same thing. I think we need each type, though. Yeah.
They remind us exactly what the end game is, even though it's not exactly clear what their contribution is in the meantime.
How much it's moving the needle, or is it just an artifact of history along the way that we have today? Like if you go to a restaurant and you're like, this is the way that we've been cooking this food for 200 years, and you're like, okay, but it sucks, but cool that you kept it alive or whatever. But this fusion place down the road is way better. I don't know, like what, it doesn't always suck, by the way. It can be really good, but just for the sake of argument, like what if there's a quote unquote better way to do something that has, I don't know, iterated over the goddamn centuries here, and we've found other ways to do things, and just invites that, and that's cool. And the artist in me like wants to go that way. Like I want to be like push the boundary, and I want to be like find the new shit and be like, I don't know, have a smoked cocktail and do crazy shit they couldn't have done before, and like I don't know. But then I appreciate, it's not me, but I appreciate the people that are like, no, I make bread and I make it this way, and every day of my life I put 1 1/8 teaspoon of baking fucking soda in this thing, and it does not change, and I don't care. Like, and it's because this is how it is. Like, and I'm like, that's not me. I'm not a this is how it is kind of person.
Yeah.
But if we didn't have those people, the shit would get lost. It's like, I don't know. It serves a function. So anyway.
It does serve a function, but it doesn't mean I don't want to punch them right in the face.
Not the bread maker, though.
It depends on the bread. If they're making rye
Depends
bread,
on
I
the bread.
definitely want to punch them in the face.
Yeah, depends on
Yeah.
the bread.
Y'all, we've got Tom coming on here in about 15 minutes. I
Oh,
don't think
okay,
we're going to
cool.
get through trivia unless Zane knows how to power through it. Zane, can you power through trivia? Do you think that's doable?
Can we do 15-minute trivia?
We can try.
Let's go!
You wasted 12 seconds on that intro.
Yes, I did. Let's go, though.
No
Go ahead,
rules.
Zane.
Let's
Take it
go.
over.
No rules. We all know. Answer the right question.
All right, no rules. This is going to be a very left libertarian trivia.
Oh,
All right. Tonight's categories: round 1, viral videos; round 2, fake and gay;
I don't know how left leaning it's gonna
round
be.
3, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh God. Okay.
Round 1. Question 1. Who is biting Harry Davies' car's finger in this 2007 video?
Harry.
I have my
Davies'
answer.
Cars.
I have my answer. I don't have anything to write on today, so it is what it is.
All right.
I can go first every time. But
Jake.
make sure Alden has done his answer first.
I don't know.
All right.
Jake.
The answer is Charlie.
Audience also has it.
It's-
Charlie.
Oh God.
Charlie bit my finger.
I do remember that now.
Sounds like Forrest Gump as a kid.
Yeah. Charlie. Yeah.
Question 2. Hurricane Katrina, more like...
Dadgummit. Oh, I just saw this video the other day.
You saw it the other day?
Yeah, there's a whole thing on Instagram
wouldn't
right
have
now
admitted
where
that if
they
you don't know.
rehash old Vine videos.
Oh God. I don't know what this is.
I can't remember. I don't have an answer for it.
What? I don't even know what kind of answer we're looking for.
What did he say?
The rest of the line. I don't know.
Hurricane Katrina, more like Hurricane Tortilla.
Tortilla.
What? That's so
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, it was funny though.
I don't
Question
even
3. Speaking of Hurricane Katrina, what has Kanye West just said to Mike Myers?
Oh, I think I do know this one actually. I'm not gonna write this down.
I don't.
Oh, good. Okay.
Go ahead, Alden.
Is this the Bush hates black people line? Or is that
George
someone else?
Bush doesn't care about
Okay.
black people.
All right. I feel like I was
I'll give you the
in the
point.
ballpark. Yeah.
But then he loves Donald Trump.
Question 4. In what country is this man having a swim in his own bin?
I feel like there's only one country you would do that.
I think I have an answer.
All right, Jake.
I'm gonna say England because that dude looks English AF.
UK. Yeah.
Listen, Nobbid, if I want to have a swim in my own bin on the hottest day we've ever had in England, then I'm within my rights to do so.
Yeah. Yeah. You called it a bin, so there was a big clue there. Not
Trash
the
trash bin.
Yeah.
Trash. I mean, we say trash bins here for the
No.
big ones.
No.
For the little cans in your house, it's cans.
Do you call it a buggy when you go to the store?
No.
Is it a boot?
No.
No.
Question 5. This Australian man is most closely associated with what phrase, which he utters while being arrested at a Chinese restaurant?
Oh God. Is it racist? I don't know.
What phrase was she utters while being? I know this one, dadgummit. Why do I know this one?
I don't know.
can't remember what he says, but I know that I know it. F me. Go ahead.
This is Democracy Manifest.
There we go.
No, it's. I didn't finish my nudes.
I'll also give the audience the point on this because this speech is also known as succulent Chinese meal.
Is that right?
What is the charge for eating a meal, a succulent Chinese meal?
There's some strange corners of the internet, man.
All right, go ahead.
Question 6. What question is this duck about to ask?
And I'm so bad at this. I have no idea.
Alden?
Is your lemonade wet? I have no idea.
Audience has it. Got any grapes?
Grapes? Why?
We're going to get smoked by the audience tonight.
Oh my god, so badly.
Question 7. What is the name of the llama wearing the green hat?
Dadgummit. These are classics, and I cannot remember them. I have a guess. It ain't right, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Jake?
Dolly.
Alden?
Roland.
Carl?
Dadgummit.
That kills people.
I mean, Dolly is funny. Come on. Dalai Lama. Shut your mouth.
Oh. Dolly.
Wow.
That is funny. I'm so sorry. I didn't get there.
Question 8. This screaming goat duetted with Taylor Swift on what 2012 single of hers?
I do know this one.
Oh. I know
Let's
the
go.
scream. I don't know the name of the song.
I do.
Hold on.
Suck it, Alden.
Well. You know what? I'm proud not to know this.
Whatever. Go ahead, Zane.
All right, Jake.
I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have got that. I just know because of the goat sound. So I was
Now
gonna.
I'm lying on the cold hard ground.
Oh, so good.
All right, audience also has that, which means at the end of round 1, we've got Alden with 2, Jake with 3, audience with 4.
I got more than I remembered even.
Powered through. Let's do it.
We gotta hurry.
All right, round 2, fake and gay.
Not or, but and.
Question 1. Massive fake armies, including this inflatable tank, were created as part of Operation Fortitude, a ploy to mislead the Germans about the true location of what event?
I have my guess.
Alden,
Valkyrie? I have no idea.
Jake,
D-Day.
it is the D-Day landings.
Oh, shit.
Woo!
I should have
Question
guessed that, yeah.
Question 2. What 1996 musical by Jonathan Larson is an adaptation of the Giacomo Puccini opera La Bohème that premiered a century earlier? Unlike La Bohème, it takes place in New York City instead of Paris, and most of the characters are gay.
What the hell, Zane? I'm like La Bohème?
This is where the word bohemian comes from.
I mean, the only Bohemian I know is Rhapsody. So
I know the two sides that are fighting in this, but I cannot remember the dadgum name.
No,
of the
you're
musical.
thinking of West Side Story. It's
I am thinking of West Side Story. It's
I
not
can
that.
read your mind.
I
It's
don't.
not-
We've been over this, Zane.
That's
I
an
don't-
adaptation of Romeo and Juliet.
I don't
That's
watch
right. That's right.
musicals, so I just don't care.
All right, neither of you know it, but the
9.
audience does. What?
8.5, 9, whatever that one is. I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, 6? The one with the 6
No.
Y's? Okay.
No.
69.
There we go. That one.
99.
Right,
Is that the gay one?
Rent.
Oh,
Rent.
Jesus. When you said everyone was, I should have known with the gay
I've never seen Rent. Have no
I've
idea
never
what it's
seen
about. Nothing.
I don't know.
Would never have gotten that.
It's in,
Question 3.
in New York, and it's apparently gay. I don't know.
To catch anyone who would violate its copyright, the 1974 book The Trivia Encyclopedia included the fake fact that Philip is the first name of what television detective? Author Fred Worth sued the makers of Trivial Pursuit when they included this supposed fact in the game, but the judge ruled against him.
How would the judge rule against him? That's so clearly a problem.
So the judge's line of reasoning was that you can't copyright a fact. You can only copyright the presentation of a fact, and including it as a question in a game is substantially different than just including it in an encyclopedia. And so since you couldn't have copyrighted a fact, you can't copyright a fake fact.
Okay, well, I don't know this one, so.
Alden.
Dick Tracy.
Oh, good guess.
Philip K. Dick Tracy.
Dude, that's a great guess. I like it.
The answer is Columbo.
So much for my great guess.
It was a better guess than the answer.
At least I made a guess, you know. I don't know.
Audience says Magnum PI on that.
That's a better guess. That's funny.
Question 4. What 1987 book by journalist Randy Shilts documented responses to the AIDS epidemic and blamed the Reagan administration for lack of research funding? The title references the action of a group of musicians aboard the Titanic.
Okay.
Jake.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Alden.
Gay violinists.
This is And the Band Played On.
That's what I said.
Never.
Which
ever,
the audience
ever.
actually got.
No, they
way.
didn't. I'm going to punch this audience right in the face.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Question 5. Active during the 1920s and 1930s, Joseph Cozy is most well known for engaging in what criminal activity? Today, his works are valuable in their own right, and some are even held in the Library of Congress.
Human trafficking.
Okay, I mean, I have a guess.
Jake.
Graffiti.
Alden.
Human trafficking.
Joseph Cozy was a well-known forger.
That's what I said.
He had lots of forgeries, especially of signatures of Abraham Lincoln. So,
Interesting.
real signatures of Abraham Lincoln typically will auction for like $20,000 or $30,000. But this guy's forgeries of Abraham Lincoln signatures, still not for more, but they do go for several $100s.
They're valuable.
Cool they're valuable enough that modern day forgers try to make forgeries of Joseph Cozy's forgeries.
Forgeryception. Nice.
Question 6. On May 24th, 2026, what man was elected chairman of the Libertarian National Committee?
Got it.
Alden.
Zane Placie.
If only.
How
If
dare you?
Only. Evan McMahon.
Audience says Grumpy Gnome, which unfortunately is not right. It is Evan McMahon.
Hey, Tom, can you hear me backstage, buddy? Give me a thumbs up. Sweet. We're finishing up trivia, and then we'll introduce you onto the stage. Does that sound good? Sweet. It'll be just a couple minutes.
We're doing really poorly at fast trivia.
Yeah, we're losing to the audience big time at trivia. So
we're doing
all right.
It's not going well.
Yeah.
At the end of round 2, I've got Alden with 2, Jake with 7.
I still have 2. I got nothing on that. Great. Yes. That's what I want.
All right, final round.
3, Grand Rapids.
I hope I
Question
get
1.
no more points.
What president was raised in Grand Rapids and was a center for the University of Michigan football team in the 1930s? His presidential library is in the city.
What?
I don't know.
I have a guess.
Fucking FDR? I don't know.
Garfield.
Garfield.
No.
Yeah.
Garfield, I believe, was from Ohio. This is
How do
Gerald
you
Ford.
know that? Why would anyone know this?
I think I've been to Garfield's house.
What
Because
the
it's
fuck?
like-
Who's been to Garfield's house?
Because
half the
Garfield's-
people don't even know he's a president.
Garfield's
Fuck
house
me.
is like 20 minutes away from where my grandparents used to live.
Goodness gracious.
George W. Bush's house could be my neighbor and I wouldn't go. I don't care. Oh my God.
George W. Bush did live down the street from me, so I did know where his house was. Go ahead, Zane.
Of course
Next
he did,
question.
yeah. Great.
Question 2. The Grand Rapids area is home to the headquarters of what Midwestern chain of grocery stores? A garden and sculpture park in the city is named for its founder, Frederick.
I have an answer.
All right. Jake.
Meyer. M-E-I-J-E-R.
I put Fred Meyer
Okay, so
because
It's
it's
two different
Alden is going to
guys.
kill me. Fred Meyer is actually wrong. Because that's the name of a
But I have the
completely
last
different
name
chain
right,
of
so it
grocery
doesn't matter.
store. It is Meyer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, different spelling.
What do you
One of the
do?
rare cases in
Like
which
I said,
spelling it wrong
nope.
makes it refer to something completely different.
I said I didn't want to make any more points. So
You're killing it.
thank you for saving me from points, Zane. I
You're
appreciate it.
killing it. All right. 2 more questions. Let's go.
Question 3. The city is named for the rapids of what river, which towered up to 15 feet before being submerged due to dam construction?
Oh, dadgummit. I did not even look at the name of the river when I was there. Dadgummit, man. Why can't I pay attention?
Don't you mean God damn it?
No.
With a
I didn't mean that.
D-A-M only?
All right. I have no answer.
Alden.
The Michigan River.
It's good.
Well,
I mean, I don't fucking know.
it's Grand Rapids because it's the rapids of the Grand River.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
I feel like if you gave me 2 more guesses, I'd have got it. That's how stupid that is.
All right.
Question 4. Kentucky Breakfast Stout, Centennial IPA, and Dirty Bastard are products of what Grand Rapids-based brewery?
Damn
founded
it, I'm
in
gonna get
1996?
more points, Zane. Why did you do a beer question?
All right. Alden can get this one because I ain't going to get it.
Founders Brewing.
It is Founders Brewing Company.
All right.
I
What's the
didn't
final
want
score?
more points. But you asked
Which
a
means-
beer question.
End of trivia. We've got Alden with 5, Jake with 10, and the audience with 22.
Goodness gracious. We got smoked. That was not a good night.
That was awful.
Congrats, audience. You win. All right, everybody. Thank you for playing Libations Trivia Speed Round Edition.
Yeah. Who knew I didn't know anything about opera and gay musicals and dead presidents and Michigan?
Who knew? It's just friggin' bizarre that you didn't know about any of that.
I know beer, though.
All right, y'all. We're going to bring on our guest for the rest of the evening. Give me 1 second. Well, here is his most recent campaign video, and then we're going to bring on Mr. Tom Jandron, running for United States Senate in the state of Montana. So please enjoy.
I am the no war candidate.
Iran is going to get a nuclear weapon.
I heard that a couple months ago.
Iran.
I heard that a few years ago.
Iran.
I heard that 20 years ago.
Iran.
They're always 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon. Fear is the ultimate control tool.
All right, welcome to the stage, Mr. Tom Jandron. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you doing, Jake?
Doing great, doing great.
That video still gets me all pumped up.
Dude,
That's a good
gets me
background
jacked.
riff, actually.
Heck yeah. Well, Tom, what's going on in your world right now?
Just campaigning's got me a little busy.
I bet.
And amongst all the other life things that still go on, like a full-time job and family obligations and house projects and all those fun things. Trying to
Yeah.
find some, leisure time in there somewhere. So
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be running as a libertarian has got to be one of the more exhausting campaigns that can be run, because I think most Republicans and Democrats running for a seat in the Senate, probably it's their full-time job just running the campaign. And you have family, full-time job, and you're running a campaign with only grassroots support because you're not taking, APAC money or anything like that. So yeah, how's your family? How's your family dealing with all the stress and the press and all that kind of stuff?
they're doing really good with it. My 11-year-old daughter thinks it's, really cool. So does both my boys. I got one that's 16 and the other one's 20, and
Heck yeah.
they're excited about it. I've had my middle son. He's helped me out on a couple of clips, just trying to make some little shorts on YouTube, and
Mm-hmm.
my wife has been helping a lot. So it's a whole family affair. So since I
Heck yeah.
don't have a big campaign staff, I've got some fantastic volunteers like yourself. But yeah, they've been handling it pretty well. So
Heck yeah. Well, Tom, the guy to my right is Alden. Below me is Zane. We got a couple more guys that normally are on the show as well. We like to focus on issues and current events that with a libertarian bent. And so we really focus on why freedom and liberty are necessary and how to get to that point. And we kind of analyze certain events from that lens. So you're kind of in friendly territory with this interview. There won't be, I don't think there'll be any too many gotcha questions or anything like that. But the first gotcha question will be, are you drinking anything tonight?
I do have a glass of wine.
Glass of wine. All right.
Yeah.
What kind of wine are you drinking?
It is what was it? A Chianti from Italy.
Heck yeah. Okay. Respect.
With fava beans.
Hopefully no fava beans.
No fava beans.
Tom, you're classing up the show, man. We
My bad.
none of us drink wine. I feel like you have to have.
I
a
can
good
go grab
taste
some
for
of my
that.
box wine here,
There we go. Yeah. Let's
I don't know. The
that.
beer has just not been agreeing with me lately, and so just a glass of wine at night to unwind. So
No, dude, I love good wine, honestly. I
Yeah,
just
I
right now only have bad wine in the house.
All right. Well, Tom, tell us a little bit about you and like what you do, and your service in the past as well.
yeah, so I retired from the Montana Army National Guard 3, I think, years ago. I don't know. Time kind of gets lost. Spent 13 years in an aviation battalion, flying on Chinooks and as a flight engineer, and was a section sergeant for the maintainers, and so that was my military background. Was deployed to Afghanistan in 2012. Was pretty much right when I got into the Army. Got through my basic training in AIT, and got back and found out I was going to deploy in like 8 months or whatever it was, or I guess I had about a year. So got to spend some time in beautiful Fob Shank, Afghanistan. Highly recommend it. I don't know why it's not on more tour guides, to go list, but and then I was going to deploy again. My unit deployed to Iraq in 2019-20. I wound up getting hurt really bad just weeks before we were supposed to go. And so I got pulled from that one and spent months in Washington rehabbing, so surgery and stuff like that. So, and currently I'm working on helicopters still for state or for a fire agency. So that's right. Army maintainers are the only real maintainers. I like that guy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So
Well, man, you said while you were rehabbing after getting injured, you were in D.C. Is that you were in Washington
no,
State?
Washington
I was
State.
literally gonna ask it wasn't
Okay.
because I used to live in Washington State. I was gonna ask what part, and then when you assumed DC, I was like, oh, maybe I'm an idiot. Yeah, that's
No, it was Fort Lewis
Okay.
in Washington. So
Got it. So with this U.S. Senate run, you're just trying to check both Washingtons off your lived-in states, right?
yes,
That's the
yeah, that's
the
exactly.
goal here. Yeah. So what, in the end, like what made you want to run for Senate? Because it's not an easy thing. It takes a lot of time, as we talked about. It takes a lot of effort. You get a lot of scrutiny. You got press. Like none of it's easy, and very little of it is fun. So like, what about this Senate campaign made you want to take it on?
Well, most of my life I've taken the hard road, so this is just kind of on par with. Never ran for anything other than school board once, and so why not go for the U.S. Senate? President seemed like maybe a little bit too much, but so yeah. In my years of life, was the oddball kid. I always paid close attention to the news. I remember sitting at my grandparents' house playing with GI Joes, watching headline news. I don't know what was wrong with me. And so I've just always been aware of everything going on, and just seeing it progressively get worse and worse. And then, having 3 kids and wondering what kind of future they're going to have in our country. You can be a keyboard warrior, I guess, all day long, but kind of putting skin in the game and getting out there and trying to actually affect real change, I suppose, was my reason for running for U.S. Senate.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. I get taking the harder road. I tend to do that as well, and I understand that mindset. It's a lot harder, but it's a lot more interesting and a lot more fun along the way, and you get a lot of stories from it, which is great.
That's right.
Yeah, Zane, Alden, y'all have any questions before we get into the war and defend the guard stuff?
I was gonna ask this. I didn't want to interrupt, but I was like, is Fort Lewis, is that in Tacoma?
Yeah, just off of Tacoma.
Okay, because I used to live in Tacoma, and I was like, I thought I knew that name. And my only experience with Fort Lewis is one time I was trying to buy used furniture on like Facebook Marketplace, and someone was like, yeah, just come by and get it. And he gave me the address, and he didn't tell me it was on a base. And so I just roll up, and they're like, you can't come in here. And I'm like, well, some guy's selling a dresser. And I thought he was just like, yeah, come by and I'll give it to you. Anyway, that's my only experience.
I wish that was Tom. Gosh, I wish that was Tom. That would just been the best moment ever.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's great.
That's my only experience with Fort Lewis at all, but I did live over there. Yeah. So that was my important 2 cents I had to throw in.
That was very important.
Yeah,
we all needed to hear that. Your dresser story.
Made time for that.
Yes.
Well, Tom, go ahead, Zane. Go ahead.
So I'm really curious to know, when you're out there campaigning, how often do people tell you, well, I like what you're saying, but I'm not going to vote for you because I don't think that you can win? Because I personally haven't looked at the polling, but I assume it probably wouldn't be breaking news to you that you're probably not going to win. But that's kind of beside the point of running this campaign. In my view, the point of like these national level or state level campaigns is that these candidates both love war so much, and they both suck so much that they must be punished and they must be humiliated by having another candidate out there exposing them. So when people, I guess my first question is, do you kind of agree with my assessment of your campaign, which it seems from your video, you would at least somewhat agree with that? And then also, when or if people kind of express this sentiment of, well, you're not going to win, how do you respond to that?
So I haven't gotten a whole lot of, you won't win. I mean, I know that I'm a long shot. Right now, I think, the primary for Montana is coming up June 2nd, so next Tuesday. And it's very rare that there's 2 libertarians running for the same office. But there's a guy, well, loosely call him libertarian.
Let's not call him a libertarian at all, Tom.
He's running on the libertarian ticket. He's previously run as a Republican a couple times and did not succeed, and thought he'd try it as a libertarian. But
that's funny. That's like the other way around from what usually happens, which is a libertarian is like, hey, I'm not winning, so let me run on a bigger ticket. To switch is kind of, that's odd, actually.
It's really odd. Nobody knew who he was. And when the Montana Libertarian Party interviewed him, what was his foreign? The people he looked to for foreign policy was Bill Clinton and George W. Bush.
Oh,
stellar examples of
that's a 1-2 punch
foreign policy.
Yeah.
I think I'll get a lot more of, the spoiler element of it all, come the general election if I make it past Tuesday. I don't know, I'm not too worried about it. And nothing else, it's just getting the message out there and kind of holding the other candidates accountable to, going on record potentially of, not supporting these wars and all the foreign entanglements that have led us to $39 trillion in debt, a military that's struggling to function as it should, with all the previous wars and now this current Iran war and, the Cuba thing, the Venezuela, the other 190 whatever countries that we're in. So, so I mean that's kind of the main objective, obviously, of just getting that out there. Overall, though, I mean, I've gotten incredible feedback from people with the message that I have been running, so that's encouraging. People definitely are in favor of no more wars and focusing on America and American issues that we have here. So, that's, I think, encouraging and a positive note there.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that keeps on reoccurring in your ads and stuff is like, let's actually do America first, which is what Trump ran on, like America first, and he hasn't followed through at all in the least. So it's kind of a travesty what he's done with his campaign versus his actual presidency. But you're running as let's actually take it seriously, and you've had some awesome merch to go along with that because of a viral thing that happened at the very beginning of your campaign, which was you tweeted out draft Lindsey Graham, and so now we've got draft Lindsey Graham merch on the website, just kind of showcasing. And I think the point was like any war that Lindsey Graham supports, he should be drafted into. That was kind of your thing with that, right?
Yeah, basically. I mean, he's warmonger number one in DC, and so he's never seen a conflict or war he doesn't like and love and champion. And so I just saw him here recently talking about Cuba and how we need to go into Cuba. So it's it was just, I don't know, it seemed like it was appropriate to attack him a little bit.
Sure.
It got, the Hill picked it up, so it was a great launch to my campaign. I wasn't really expecting it. It was just a flippant sort of remark on X and made me go viral pretty quick. So
exactly. Yeah. I did, at the Libertarian National Convention, I did have a chance to interview his Libertarian opponent in his upcoming race. Her name's Casey, and she is phenomenal. And like, I don't, she's a Libertarian candidate, so I'm not sure what chance she has of ousting Lindsey Graham, but her messages that she can deliver are pretty outstanding. And like, she is she's a host of a radio show. She's an author. Like, she already has a lot of name recognition around the state, which is pretty huge. So, what would it mean to you if literally in this coming election, Lindsey Graham got ousted from the Senate.
I think it would be a huge win for America as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I'll sell less merch. I don't know.
That's
But I'm
great.
sure he'll be still on, you know, Fox News out there as a contributor, as the war monger. So
Then he'll be
I doubt he'll
warmonger
slip into the
consultant.
darkness.
Yeah.
Warmonger
that?
consultant now.
He'd be just on Fox as warmonger consultant instead of senator. You know, yeah.
Well, no, he'd be on Fox News as a member of the board of directors of Raytheon.
Oh yeah, fair.
There we
Yeah.
go. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the revolving door.
All right, Tom, we've talked about the war that's going on in Iran extensively on this show. We have a lot of information and takes on what's going on over there. But as somebody who's literally been in war over there, in the Middle East, I mean, not in Iran, but I guess in Afghanistan, what would you tell folks about war in the Middle East that like the regular everyday citizen wouldn't know?
I guess the big thing is just the information we get is so funneled or like not, we don't get, you know, obviously the real truth or the real happenings of what's going on there. You definitely don't get any boots on the ground, so to speak, of like, you know, what the people in those countries, how they actually live, or, you know, the kind of people you just hear, they're all extremists, they all hate America, whatnot. You know, my experience with the locals in Afghanistan, at least, you know, it was pretty limited because I was predominantly just on a FOB, maintaining helicopters, but we had locals that had shops and stuff, and so obviously we'd go in and buy, you know, different trinkets and whatnot, and they were all incredibly friendly and nice people. So, you know, that's definitely one thing that is a big misnomer to people. They just hear, you know, they all want to kill us, but that's not what I, you know, saw.
It's a lot of propaganda.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of propaganda out there. So, but I don't know what else. I mean, I wasn't in Iraq, but I do know, you know, I have close friends that were, and which is, you know, a neighbor of Iran there. And then Kuwait, you know, we've had a base in Azerbaijan for, I don't even know how long, probably at least 25 years, if not even before that, from, you know, the first Gulf War.
I was going to say the Gulf War time, probably.
Yeah, it's been around for a real long time. So, and, you know, that's relatively very, well, had been always a really safe location. Kind of, you'd give other guys a hard time if that was their deployment to Azerbaijan, because they didn't really do a whole lot. But that's changed in this war. They got bombed pretty heavily. I've, you know, heard reports, I don't know what's true, that it's not even really functional anymore. And then, of course, you know, we had guys, they kind of supplemented and supported Syria when we were there, and I guess probably still are there in Tower 21 and whatnot. So it's just, it's a overall, you know, a really complex place. History goes back, you know, I don't know, not too many people, maybe, I mean, your listeners probably do, just because we're in kind of a niche group of people that care more, but you know, you really have to dive way back to World War One, post World War One, you know, post World War II, and kind of how that whole area was created, basically, you know, by the
redrawn map lines each time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were predominantly tribal, never like national type places. So, you know, this, I don't think a lot of them really understand, like, or care about some line on a map. It's more their tribal and where their family heritage and
It's
lineage.
hard to care when it keeps changing under your feet, and you have a culture and a family and a lineage, and it just is like this arbitrary thing that some guy somewhere is making and changing, and then another 40 years it changes again. And
Right.
I can understand that and just being like, I don't know, we are us, and not necessarily limited by that.
I'm intrigued by. I was never in the military. I had friends who served, but I was never involved. I have too much of a problem with authority to have been involved anywhere in the military. When you're on the ground, like when you're deployed, what is the interaction like with the local population? Like, how often do soldiers on the base interact with the locals? Is it mostly like amicable? Is it tense? Like, what kind of situation is that on the ground?
I think it really kind of depends on what type of unit and what your role was over there. Obviously like infantry or some more combat arms who are going to be out doing patrols, setting up smaller cops and stuff like that will have, more interaction with locals. On being on a FOB, we had, like I said, the merchants that had their shops. We periodically had to do guard duty, and they mixed us in with like some local security type people. So there was usually 2 or 3 of them and 2 of us. That part was always a little bit tense just because they have a weapon, we have a weapon, and it was during a time where there's a lot of the green on blue. So there wasn't, you stayed on guard, I guess, when on guard at the guard shop. Just because it was a different dynamic there, I guess. And then they also had a lot of nationals doing, like coming and pumping out the tanks for, the bathrooms and cleaning the showers and that kind of stuff. We didn't really talk, to them much. It was just they're there walking around while we were going about our business. So that was mostly my experience. Everybody, like I said, it's going to vary just depending on the job that they had. So,
yeah. So getting back a little bit to your campaign, like Trump ran on no new wars. He ran on ending Ukraine war on day 1. He didn't start any wars during his first presidency, which is more than most of the last few presidents can say, which is kind of why a lot of us kind of leaned towards his direction to vote for him. What about this current presidency do you like? This is just purely speculation, I'm imagining, unless you have some inside information. Like, what about this presidency do you think made him turn so sharply against what he had promised his MAGA base?
I don't have any insider information, just, what I've seen and heard other people kind of talking about that are maybe more familiar with just kind of inner workings, like Tucker Carlson and what's his name? I just listened to the guy that resigned.
Joe Kent.
Joe Kent. Jeez. Yeah. It seems like there's some sort of foreign influence there. I don't know if, Adelson's and their money, if he had to repay that debt. I don't know if they have something on him. Maybe, with the assassination attempts, they made it crystal clear that, we can get to you and we can get to your family. Right. I don't know, but it is, it was a 180 turn, as we saw. I mean, somebody who was running on no new wars. He previously in his other campaigns and even beforehand talked extensively on how we shouldn't be in the Middle East and, we need to get out of there. And he did a pretty good job overall. He brokered the initial deal with pulling out of Afghanistan, and then but his administration changed that up to make it their own, and then it was a terrible outcome from that. It's just kind of a stark difference from what he was in his first term, what he'd run on, and then and now we have this, and I mean that's kind of the only logical conclusion I think that any reasonable person can make without jumping into the 15, D squared chess game that people want to play. Like,
how wild would it be in the end if Trump was just playing like 23D chess and just outmaneuvered everyone, and we had world peace in like 8 years? Like, what? That would be the most wild ending.
It would be wild. I'd be the first to admit, hey, you know what? I was mistaken, but it's really hard to come to that conclusion or whatnot right now.
Yeah, it really is.
I'll be the first to give a raccoon serious props if he solves like, an equation on the board in a college, you know what I mean, that no one else can. I'll be like, hey, like that's a smart ass raccoon. Who'd have known? Like, but I don't think that's gonna be the case.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. So you're the anti-war candidate in Montana, running for this U.S. Senate seat. Can you expand on that a little bit? Because the anti-war, like Tulsi Gabbard, we all thought she was anti-war, but turns out she was just anti-regime change war. It was a very specific kind of war. So can you expand on that part of your platform and like what that actually means to you?
Yeah, so it's one, it boots on ground, troops in these foreign countries, and I would like to see massive amount of base closures throughout the world. I just read a report that we're bombing in Somalia still, and we've been bombing them since the 90s. And it's all these types of conflicts that, what's the purpose? Why are we there? What are we really doing other than just destabilizing and killing people? So in that regard, I'd really like to see that actually come to an end and close out, bring troops back to the U.S. It would also entail not funding like Ukraine and countries, all this foreign aid to Israel, all these things that just get us entangled with things that are not benefiting us, bankrupting us. So, that I'm not an isolationist and I'm not a pacifist by any means. So, if there's a real threat, if somebody invaded or bombed and, the U.S., then, I'd be all for, sending troops and whatever it takes, military might to destroy that threat. But, being in all these other countries, it doesn't help America. It doesn't help America.
You could make the argument, like, how much does it even help the entities that we're sending the money to help? Because, like, people have made the case that, like, if you say you keep trickle funding this little bit, toward like Ukraine, for instance, or whatever, and it's like you really just like limp along something that was never gonna go anywhere, and like it just ends up extending it, and you end up with more casualties over time. And then if it does, God forbid, exacerbate things to some like global nuclear power level thing, it wouldn't have if we weren't there. It would have been quicker or whatever. So honestly, you could make the case that it's not even helpful for the people that we say we're trying to help.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
all
at
these people with Ukraine flags in their bio have been completely fooled, because if Ukraine really wanted to keep fighting and they just needed our financial support, and if only they had that, they're gung-ho to fight the Russians. Well, if that's the case, how come they have to be drafting like all their fighting age population and like
and non-fighting age population?
Non-fighting age population. So it's like that, and the people, the top politicians have, in moments of indiscretion, come out and said, we're supporting Ukraine in order to bleed Russia dry. Conspicuously absent from that is we're funding Ukraine to actually help the Ukrainians accomplish what they want.
Yeah, and it ultimately bleeds America dry.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, even just actual, military action, but all the sanctions that we place, I meant to check the number again because I kind of missed it. I heard it in this retired admiral or whoever that had served in previous administrations. He was talking, I think it was Brown University did this study on how many millions of people our sanctions have killed over the years. And it's more than like Mao Zedong and Hitler and Stalin like combined. Like that's how devastating, sanctions are on the people. Mm-hmm. Regular families, the everyday population.
Yeah,
supposed to damage or hurt the leadership, but I mean, it never really does. They obviously are going to get the money first and have the power to control that, and so it's all the regular people in that country that suffer the greatest, for those kinds of sanctions. So
decisions like that are they're one more tool in the arsenal of war, basically. Exactly. And they're it may be indirect, it may be like not the same as just decapitating someone or whatever, but it harms people. And we do it, to other countries, and we do it to ourselves. And, I don't want to get maybe too into it or whatever, but I disagreed with a lot of the, during COVID and lockdown stuff and things that we just like hampered and hamstrung our own nation and economy. And, those are just decisions. It wasn't like anyone declared official war on anything or whatever, but it had these lasting effects. And, sometimes, the war of just policy and economics and sanctions and all these other things. And they can be just as, impactful and devastating as like these very literal official, like war terminology. And it's part of the scope. And I think that we should consider that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I think like sanctions like that, they're not meant to go directly against whatever government you're putting sanctions on. Like it's a tool for the citizenry to either you're relying on the government to either care about their citizenry enough to do something about it, or be revolted on by their citizenry because they're not doing anything about it. So like you're not actually directly harming the government itself. You're only harming the people by putting these sanctions in there. And that's like from a humanitarian perspective, that is a terrible thing to do when it's just a few horrible people in charge of a certain country. Like there's a big moral dilemma in that regard. I'm sure Zane has some retort to what I just said. Zane?
No, I have complete agreement with what you just said. It's like this was what was crazy about what Trump was doing right after we launched the Iran war. It's like, okay, we're bombing them, and Trump gets on their True Social and is like, all right, Iranian people, time for you to rise up in support of us. It's like, well, we're the ones bombing them. Why would they do that?
I feel like an analogy popped into my head of like if Walgreens fucked up your prescription and you didn't get your medicine and they wouldn't, or your insurance wouldn't cover it or something, and then you go into the pharmacy and slap the person at the counter that's working there, or you slap the person that checked you out on there, you're like, your actions are not targeted toward the actual people that did the thing, and you're just harming the people that are under the umbrella of it. And you might feel justified in it in the moment, but it serves no benefit, and it is only harming more people like you. And that's where I feel like some of the sanction decisions end up looking like it's the same kind of thing, where it's like you're really only harming more people that like had nothing to do with this. But
we had a very prescient segment on Liberty Libations at the end of last year when the inflation inside Iran was really bad, and they were having all of these like demonstrations and protests against the government. We got on here and we were all like, okay, US government, don't get involved, because if you get involved, then it's just going to turn the people against you in support of their own government, when what we really want is for them to, and we're all libertarians here, so there's no love lost between us and the Iranian regime. We want the Iranian people to realize that the Iranian regime is screwing them over, but that's not going to happen if we hop in there and start screwing them over even harder.
It'd be like, another country coming here and bombing us because our government is, taking away our freedoms and running us into debt and running up, massive inflation and all those things. And then, I don't know, Britain starts bombing us and like, okay, now go and fight your government. And we're like, no, fuck you. You're the one bombing us. This is our country. I don't understand how people have this like cognitive disconnect between these things. It's really, I don't know. I'm not capable of doing the mental gymnastics that, that it takes.
Yeah.
I'm capable, but I just have to be super, super drunk to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disappointing in the most profound way after watching him not start any wars the first term in office. I voted for him for two reasons. One was because he hadn't started any wars in his first term, and the other was Ross Ulbricht, and he delivered on one of them, and utterly failed on the other. And you see so many campaigns end this way, where they get the seat and they don't do 95% of what they promised they would at least try to do, because obviously these campaigns, you're not going to be able to accomplish every single last thing that you want to accomplish if you win. Like there's
it's one thing to not be able to achieve a vision, but you hold that vision at least. It's another thing to do the opposite of what you said and to push for something that is against your vision. I get that if you're against the machine of Congress and status quo and whatever, that like you might not be able to, it'd be like if someone was like, I'm going to run for school president and chicken tenders every day. And then it's like, okay, maybe not that, but broccoli every day was what you actually did. Like, that's the opposite of what you said. Like, that's very different.
Well, and, it's not the first time we've seen that. I remember George W. Bush, he ran the exact same thing. It was not going to start any wars and didn't want to be the world police anymore. And then, shortly thereafter, we find ourselves, 9/11, whatever the official story is on that.
I won't make you get into that. Yeah.
We had like an 8-hour live stream on 9/11 conspiracy theory one day. So don't open that box.
We won't open that. But and then it drastically changed. At least then, they made a case, or at least attempted to make a case, even though it was on false pretenses.
Yeah.
That they went to Congress, they talked to, our NATO allies, all those kind of things, and at least attempted to sell us
I've
story
said the same thing. They at
that
least
we can rally against.
Even
this time, it was just like, nope, screw you.
Yep.
I know best. Oh, they're 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
And, then we're at war. Like, it's just, and didn't go to Congress, did not discuss it with any allies, nothing.
Yeah.
It was just in the midst of peace negotiations. Like, what a backhanded, slimy thing to do. It discredits our name as Americans, as citizens of this country. It diminished what our name or like our principles and everything else now in the whole world. So, that's one of the worst parts about this whole thing.
It's scary that we've gotten to a point where it's like we don't even care about pretending to preserve the optics of something. We're just like, nah, whatever. It's like the equivalent of just like your dad being like, nah, do what I say and not what I do, and you'll understand when you're older, and just like giving no explanation. You're like, holy shit, like and before, again, I agree, false pretenses. I think it was bad intel. I think it was a whole design or whatever, but at least it was like the stitching was there for the tapestry, at least like to try to kind of present this image to be like, no, like we should go to war for this reason. And like, now we're like, I don't know. We just turn around and you're like, oh, we're at war again. Like, I feel like I wasn't even pitched the story. I wasn't even pitched the lie, the usual lie.
Give me some theater.
Give me a lie. Like,
I think there's kind of an upside and a downside to that. The downside is obviously they feel like they don't even need to bother with the propaganda. They'll just do it anyway, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Yeah. I guess the upside is they realize they actually can't.
Because they're making the lie.
their propaganda is so obviously false that whenever they try it, it just gets debunked 5 minutes later. So why? It's a weird combination of they can't, but they also don't need to.
Yeah, that
so
part's
funny.
scary, actually.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. Well, let's talk about the National Guard for a minute, because that's who you were with when you were deployed overseas. So let's talk about the whole Defend the Guard initiative, the Bring Our Troops Home initiative, because that's something that I testified in favor of when the bill hit the floor in or not hit the floor, hit the committee in Montana, and I know it's getting traction across the United States. So can you give folks a quick description of like what Bring Our Troops Home is and what the Defend the Guard Act is?
Yeah, so the Defend the Guard legislation, it would essentially prohibit a National Guard unit from being activated by the president to go into a combat operation. So without a formal declaration of war. So, you know, as many people know, we haven't actually, or Congress hasn't actually declared a war since World War II, and yet National Guard is used very heavily throughout the world to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like, drawing a blank. Anyways, but like Somalia, we talked about Somalia earlier.
Yeah.
There's a lot of National Guard soldiers in Somalia, Kuwait, you know, South America, all over the place, doing these police actions or whatever they want to call them.
It's not a war; it's a skirmish. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it would prohibit the National Guard from being able to be utilized in those kind of situations. So
you would think it would already like be prohibited, but somehow we're still, I don't know what the like loophole is there or whatever, like the cake and eat it too thing with that. But
you know, I mean, Congress just kind of makes up the rules as they go and don't actually follow the Constitution.
Yeah.
So, and then they come up with the AUMFs and the authorizations of military force. So then that qualifies. In the military, you have National Guard soldiers are typically Title 32, so that they fall under the state. Typically, the governor is the commander-in-chief of the National Guard soldiers in his state. And so he would then call up for like wildfire support, or, you know, if there's civil disturbance or floods, those kind of things, he would call them up, and it would be on state orders. Title 10 orders are when you get called up by the federal government for, deployments and whatnot. And so, and that's what Defend the Guard would prohibit. Now, it wouldn't preclude the National Guard from going on like border missions, which is a Title 10 also, but that's, a national defense situation.
Right.
You
Versus
mean
combat
like,
operations.
regardless of the state, going to like the border of the nation, kind of a border?
Yeah, so like Montana National Guard has been deployed down to Mexico or Texas and Arizona.
But that's at least still within our nation.
Exactly. That's what the mission of the National Guard really should be. The guardian.
If you have a natural disaster and, like Katrina or something, and it's like, hey, we're not using ours, send them down to Louisiana. I feel like that's a whole different thing than be like, go to the Middle East. Like,
exactly. And that would all be allowed, under this. So
yeah.
So that's the purpose and goal. It's to add another check on the federal government. Since Congress doesn't want to go on record and declare a war, then the state can say, well, we're not going to allow our soldiers to go off and do this thing. And interestingly, I just heard that Vermont refused their Air National Guard F-15s being able to be used in Iraq or Iran. So That's a real interesting kind of.
Interesting.
I loved it. I didn't know about that, but I love someone taking the stand and being like, you know what? No, that's awesome. Actually,
I do
Yeah,
have
I
to
just heard
say,
about
I
it
mean,
yesterday, so it's definitely interesting.
oh, it's
but-
recent. Okay, that's why I haven't.
Yeah,
Heard
it
about
was
that.
real. I just heard about it yesterday. I don't know, how recent, but so that's encouraging. It is picking up steam. Arizona has been trying to push this for a couple sessions. Idaho has gotten really close. New Hampshire.
Mhm.
Where else? There's a couple other states that have been
Arizona
pushing
got
this.
pretty close.
Arizona got real close.
Yeah.
New Hampshire makes sense. Live free or die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is catching on. I talked to Mr. Deming here. He's a state rep out of Laurel, and he's been the one that's sponsored this legislation the last 2 times. And I was on a podcast with him last week, and
Nice.
he's planning on submitting it again this next session. It is difficult because, the higher ups in the National Guard, they threatened legislators that, they're going to pull the military funding, we're going to lose the National Guard asset altogether. They took them up in helicopter rides to wow them with, everything. So it's a tough battle. Plus, there's a couple other reps in the state that are deeply embedded in the military industrial complex.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I mean,
Yeah, and it's a lot harder to do so during when a war is currently
Yeah.
active.
it is for sure. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe being that this one's so unpopular
Yeah, true.
amongst Democrats and Republicans, that maybe they'll get more Democrats signing on. I think in the previous 2 attempts, it was Biden's administration, so I think Democrats saw it as like an attack on him. But now maybe with Trump, and then so many Republicans are disillusioned with what's going on, that maybe there'll be a stronger coalition.
Yeah.
I wish we didn't need that, like the opposing thing, and we could just be in like the general no war principle of it together. But you make a good point that now that it is on the other hand, like maybe we can be like, hey, see, it's not just, this sided thing.
Yeah, it looks like down in Georgia, Brian says we lost our Defend the Guard sponsor in Georgia because Dems put out a bill that has Defend the Guard language plus a whole bunch of other stuff in it.
I mean, that's how that goes too. It just,
I think I remember reading about that other stuff, and it's crap. It has nothing to do with Defend the Guard.
Yeah.
So,
Well, see, the nice thing about Montana is we're a single issue state, so
so you don't port barrel a bunch of bullshit.
you cannot add
God.
multiple things onto a bill. It's
Oh,
just
it's so
a clean
terrible.
bill each and every time. So
Good.
that makes it a little easier.
yeah,
That
makes
is
it
easier. I don't
way
know
better.
how that's like allowed. Honestly, that's just so bad.
It is really bad.
It's
I
like,
mean,
we want to build this road, but also we want to traffic children. You're like, you got to vote for both at the same time. I'm sorry.
and if you vote against it, wow, I can't believe you hate building roads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, well, that's the problem in Washington. We have these omnibus bills that are just bloated with every single,
Yep.
thing out there, and
Yeah.
then
300 things, and there's like some real critical bad stuff, and then some things that you might like, and you're like, I don't know what to do here with it. Like,
yeah,
man, it's so dumb. What a bad system.
it is.
Yeah.
But
I love our government.
yeah, I hope people that support the Defend Guard get on and contribute to their
Heck yeah.
to their program,
Mhm.
and they always need help with people making phone calls, whipping votes and everything. So
Yeah.
sign up. They'll send out notifications on different states and when these things are getting proposed.
The
And
more
then,
that know about it, the more that take action on it. Yeah.
yeah, so get on, support them, and make the phone calls that need to be made, because it does make a difference.
Yeah.
these
Put the pressure
state
on.
reps, especially because it is more community, and local. So
Yeah.
if they're hearing from their constituents, then it definitely plays a much bigger role than calling Washington to try to get them to do something. So
Right. Right.
Heck yeah. Yeah, and this is something that we try to tell people repeatedly on this show is you can make a lot more of a difference in your everyday life and the things you believe in if you work locally and not worry so much about, who the president is.
Call Trump and tell him what you don't like, and you're like, okay,
call him
goodbye. Yeah. You tell him,
And so, getting involved and calling your local reps or going to your city council meetings, stuff like that is way more valuable to yourself and the ones you love in your community than in, arguing about what Trump should or shouldn't do on the internet. Like that's basically a useless thing.
It is pretty useless. I mean, on a local level, you can nullify a lot of stuff that comes out of Washington. So being,
there you go,
a prize to what's happening in your local community is going to have a much, much greater impact than, national politics and all that kind of stuff. So
do you try to stop the person shooting a bullet at you from 1,000 yards away, or do you just put up a wall, in front of you, put up a shield, like a barrier to deflect against some of the bullshit that's coming from that far away?
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually a pretty good analogy, Alden, because it would take a ton of resources to try to track down somebody who's trying to shoot you from a long way away if you're just a single. I like where that analogy,
where your efforts can be more fruitful here, right here, and just be like shield, Yeah.
This actually reminds me of one of my favorite Calvin Coolidge quotes, which is,
"Why do you have
one of my favorite Calvin Coolidge quotes?
Pause.
Do you have multiple?
After this, you have to tell me at
what
least
are your top
one
3?
other Calvin Coolidge quote.
Okay, so I have this one, and then there's actually another one that I quoted at a speech I gave at my high school graduation. So I have two that I can legitimately claim to be a big fan of.
Let's go. God. Do it.
Never go out to meet a problem. 9 out of 10 will get in the ditch before they get to you.
That's very good. Yeah, that's very good.
That's appropriate.
All right, now give me your second best Calvin Coolidge quote.
The other one's really long and it's not really on topic.
I trust that you have
one.
I'll tell you
later.
Okay, I trust that you have a second one. I trust that you would have 10 of them, actually.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, there actually is another good one that's really short, which is that he was having a dinner once with a big group, and he was sitting next to a journalist, and the journalist told him, "I made a bet that I could get you to say more than 3 words in a row tonight." And he turns to her and says, "You lose."
That's funny.
That's pretty dang good. Well, Tom, we're about 4 minutes away from it being, I don't know what time it is where you are. What time?
It's 10 here.
8 o'clock? 8 o'clock. We told you we'd only keep you on for an hour. So tell folks a couple of the other planks on your campaign, and then where to find you and how to support you.
So a couple other planks, I am strong on immigration. I'm definitely more of a closed borders guy. I think that we need to have better understanding of actually who's here, and we can't just have an open border to have a free society. So
you don't think taxpayer money should go to hotels?
I also I would like to, sorry, I missed what you say.
No, I'm right there with you on this one. I was joking and saying, you don't think taxpayer dollars should go to put people up that are illegal in hotels?
No, I don't. No, I'd rather taxpayer dollars go to Americans.
Yeah.
And I would like to see some kind of Doge reform, like actually codified into law so that we can understand where our money's going in all these federal agencies. The stop foreign lobbying is a huge one. That's America only, America first.
I'd love to stop all lobbying, really, but foreign lobbying especially.
Yeah, all lobbying in general, it's gotten completely out of control. I mean, they're basically just, they don't represent their constituents anymore.
Exactly.
Because the constituents can't compete with the funding that, lobbyists do.
Exactly. But foreign is another level on top of that. It's like insult to injury on top of that.
It is, absolutely. You know, the Federal Reserve obviously is an abomination, which is a monster to try to tackle, but it needs to be. So, yeah, I mean, those are my top things. And then, you know, just kind of for Montana, you know, public lands is a huge topic and debate. So being an avid outdoorsman, you know, having access to the public lands that we have, you know, needs to remain open and not have environmentalists, you know, shutting everything down. So that's a big one for me.
Heck yeah. What's your website, just so everybody out there knows?
It's Jandron, the number 4 USSenate.com. And then I'm on X, it's Tom Jandron, and Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, I think it's Tom Jandron for US Senate, and Tom Jandron. If you search my name, you're going to find me, I think. Right now. So TikTok, I believe I'm on there. I don't know.
Type your name into Ask Jeeves or whatever people do now, you know.
Yes, Jeeves. Yeah.
Ask Jeeves. Goodness.
You'll find it. Yeah.
You'll find it. Exactly.
Is that still a thing? Like if you, I'm gonna
no way.
No
way.
15
Are you going
years.
to ask Jeeves right now?
I'm gonna ask Jeeves about Jeeves.
What did Tom Haverford from Parks and Recreation say? He was like, my business is no better than getting a fake butler to Google things for you.
Oh my God. So it's a thing, but it says it's in the search bar. It says enhanced by Google. So it's a proxy.
So it's
Google,
literally just Google.
Yeah.
But there's still Ask Jeeves. That's wild.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
And the logo is essentially the Titanic band that we were just talking about for trivia. It's terrible.
Well, Tom, we really appreciate you coming on the show, man. And we appreciate folks who will step up and run on a very principled platform.
Need it.
Which you have definitely done. And those people are so few and far between, especially ones that get actual attention and can change something and can make a difference. So I know it's not easy, but we're very appreciative of what you're doing. And wish you the best of luck in the primary, because the fact that Montana has open primaries is friggin' stupid.
It is stupid. Yeah. Hopefully we can change that, but yeah, it is what it is. But no, I appreciate you having me on. It's been fun bullshitting with you guys. And so, yeah, we'll see, you know, what happens Tuesday, and I'd be more than happy to come back if you want to have me again, and we can talk some more. So.
Yeah,
heck yeah. When you win the primary, we'll have you back on closer to the election, and we'll have you on for the full show and do a whole thing for you. It'll be great.
I might look you on the trivia thing, because I had the Gerald Ford one.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Well, so we have another member of the show who normally dominates everybody. So we'll pitch you against him and see who comes out on top.
Okay.
And then if there's a beer question,
information in his brain.
All right, Tom, I'm gonna remove you from the screen here in just a second. Right. Unless you want, you're welcome to stick around for the last three topics if you want to. But if you've got family
need to make sure my daughter gets off the bed and all that kind of stuff. My wife's not home yet, so
cool. All right.
All right. Appreciate it.
You have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.
Good luck.
All right. Take care.
All right. Later, Tom. Awesome. That was Tom Jandron, running for United States Senate in the state of Montana. Phenomenal campaign. I have the pleasure of working on the campaign as well. I do most of his videos for him. So I am biased.
Did you make that guitar riff for his video?
I design all the music in all our shows. So like our intro, that's me designing the music myself.
Yeah.
Alden. Yeah, for sure. Highly recommend you going to his website. He's got some sweet merch that you can buy that will support him.
Lindsey Graham merch.
Draft Lindsey Graham. Yeah. I mean, you can wear that no matter what season it is, even if it's not election season. So go on to his website, Jandron 4, the number 4, USSenate.com. and get some merch, support him, spread the word. It's a big deal, and he is poised to be. It's a weird campaign. The incumbent just suddenly dropped out of the race for no reason, and so it's kind of leaving this big gaping hole in a red state where the Republican candidate isn't that popular. And so, like, yeah, libertarians have a much higher, much lower chance of needing much lower chance of getting into the office. But the fact that
in the circumstance,
this particular circumstance is completely different. And so I would encourage you to spread the word, retweet his stuff, go follow him on X and Facebook and all the things. And let's try to get a anti-war person a ton of.
Why is it so hard to get an anti-war person into office? Oh my God.
Dude, it's wild.
It's embarrassing.
It's absolutely wild. So yeah, go check out his stuff. Go check out Jandron for USSenate.com and buy some merch, because his merch is awesome. Hang on 1 second. There we go.
I support the cause here.
All right. And,
I am not fucking drunk.
19th or blue.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about it's a clam. I love it.
I gotta be honest with you, I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up.
Zane, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
Welcome to Drunkard of the Week, the part of the show where we show somebody saying or doing something that can only be explained if they're drunk, but they're not. We had some great nominations this week. We had one that made it into the funnies here at the end, the fun cooker section. But this first one, it just hit home so hard with me that we had to show it. It's very short, but hopefully you will appreciate it. You can nominate folks by joining our Discord. You can click the link in the description below, or you can tag us on X, #Drunkard of the Week, or @Liberty Libation. So if you find videos of somebody doing or saying something that can only be explained if they're drunk, but they're not, hit us up. Here we go. Here's Drunkard of the Week for episode 177.
Work on moving over the document.
We want to be free to do what we want to do. Yeah. We want to get loaded. Yeah. And we want to have a good time.
I support this. That's awesome.
Our Drunkard of the Week is somebody who goes around and hits end on phone calls that are being performed on speakerphone in public.
Oh my God. That is a true hero.
Dude, true hero.
I should have nominated the guy, and there are videos of this, the guy at National Convention last weekend who was just going up onto the second floor balcony overlooking the convention hall and just doing nothing but throwing paper airplanes the entire weekend.
I thought you were going to say you should have nominated the guy who slapped a girl across the face at Libertarian Convention.
Did that happen?
That actually happened. Like, slapped her hard enough to where everybody in the hallway heard it.
Yikes.
It was wild. It's huge controversy. It's part of why LP and H got disaffiliated from.
That was going to happen anyway.
That was going to happen anyway because the idiots are in charge now. But yeah, it was wild. It was wild. Don't slap women. Don't hit women. Don't be physical against women ever. That being said, she did steal a whole table's worth of magazines from their table. So, she maybe wasn't asking for full-on violence, but she wasn't asking for anything good to come to her.
Fair, but the punishment doesn't fit the crime. Even if that were a man, I feel like that would be a lot to haul off and hit someone for taking a magazine. But
no, not a magazine. The entire stack of magazines, all of them.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
And also, if it was a dude doing it, I would kick him right in the crotch.
If it's more than 5 magazines, groin kick. It's happening. It's a rule.
All right, y'all. We're gonna we're going to wrap up the show here in a minute after we watch a few funny videos. But seriously, head on over to peacefulsea.network. Check out our other shows. Check out our videos that we're going to be releasing over the next week or two. We had a lot of
foot video coming up.
We have Alden's foot fetish videos out there we're going to be doing some really highlighted material on that.
I have the flattest feet in the world, so it's like a real
niche.
It's
a niche of a niche. Yeah. And we're really zooming in on that left toenail of his fourth toe. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Wow. Alden's foot content is going to be published before my piece of bonus content.
Before we get GTA 6,
But we did shoot a bunch of great interviews, including one with the chairman of Defend the Guard, Dan McKnight, who is such a cool dude. Great guy.
What a great name for Defend the Guard, McKnight.
Right. McKnight. Yeah. That's fantastic.
The Night's Watch.
And so we're going to release a few of those over the next week or so, and a few of the interviews from Bitcoin Conference over the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. We're also in the middle of pre-production on our first feature film, which is actually about the war in Afghanistan, or a soldier in the war in Afghanistan. So, we've got some big things planned for Peaceful Sea Network. So go check out the website. Go to voteplacie.com and vote for
Dirtman.
Zane Placie.
Dirtman Zane.
I actually met a guy at convention who 20 years ago was elected onto his county's Soil and Water Conservation District Board.
Okay.
Okay.
Did he go by Dirtman?
No.
Was he helpful in informing your campaign?
Is he now?
Yeah. So in his case, his race wasn't even contested. So he was just elected uncontested, like all of the people down here have been until I entered the race. So, but he did give. I think what I'm going to try to do is like focus my campaign around the lack of transparency, which part of the benefit of doing that is that I don't have to actually do any more research than I've already done. I just have to say this board is most likely funneling money to a bunch of NGOs, which is probably true. But
why is our dirt money going to Israel?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
See?
That's so funny. It's a good strategy. Good job.
Go to voteplacie.com. Also, I'm going to try to. I will look into buying yard signs. If I could get some yard signs going, that would be way more campaigning than any of my opponents.
I'll let you put one in my yard.
You got to get super unique yard signs, Zane, because like I still think of what you're doing as the Blood and Soil campaign. So
I can't make yard signs with that.
Dadgummit, man. You got to make signs.
That would be hilarious, but I can't do that. I could make signs that say "Vote Placie Mudlord."
See? Not Fudlord, but Mudlord.
Mudlord, that is fantastic.
If I get elect Zane Placie Mudlord signs,
See,
I might actually do that.
Yeah,
dude.
The problem is when you mix water and soil, it is mud.
Is this perfect. for all of Fulton County?
All of Fulton County, yeah.
So this includes Georgia Tech.
Yep.
Dude, go down, and I know you hate them, and they probably hate you too because you're a dumb Georgia guy. But go down to Georgia Tech, get the college people to vote for you.
Yeah,
you'd clean up.
Go down there, hand out flyers.
You gotta
for Mudlord. How
give the last time a handy.
Dude, the last time I went down there, they were literally playing mud volleyball and mud slip and slide. Like,
oh my god, this is perfect.
If you're trying to become elected as the Mud Lord, you're gonna get it if you get their vote. Come on, let's go.
It's too easy.
Take Binkley down there, have him film some stuff. Y'all would clean house. It'd be awesome.
Slather yourself in mud and like a Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator situation, and just like in your skivvies,
Yeah, maybe don't do that.
No.
Maybe go fully clothed.
Do that. You'll win. You'll get the 6 votes you need.
And as always, there's no king but Chris. All right, y'all. Yeah. At the end of the show, we'd normally say or show a bunch of videos of funny things that I've seen over the last week or so. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, I've got like 6 or 7 videos lined up. But other than that, head to peacefulc.network. Check out all of our shows on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Rumble, all the above. And we have a new show coming out with Kat Hartley from the Free Georgia podcast. It's titled Free Girl Theory. It'll be coming out over the next few weeks. We'll release the very first episode of that. She had some great stuff to say during convention this past time. She's a brand new libertarian, brand new to the party, first national convention, and she was a riot to be around during convention. She is hilarious. So look forward to that. That'll be another new show from Peaceful C Network. So make sure to stay tuned. And yeah, we'll go watch some funny videos. Heck yeah. All right. First one up is actually not a video.
Okay.
Viral buffalo that resembles President Trump spared from sacrifice in Bangladesh.
Oh, man.
Okay, this is one of those great sentences where you never know what the next word is going to be.
Yeah, that's fair. It's almost uncanny.
I mean, it's pretty spectacular. Let's be real. That is fantastic.
Yeah, he does have some like cowish like features.
He does.
Now that I'm seeing
cowish like features.
Who looks like who here? You know, actually.
Good question.
Yeah, it's actually Trump that resembles this buffalo.
Yeah.
So this next one was actually my runner-up for Drunkard of the Week.
I hate people that do this, by the way.
Shut up.
You hate people that do that?
What on earth?
The dude on the bike is king instigator, though. He said, go get him, go get him, go get him, jump, jump, jump. That was dope.
What happened here? Where is this?
Abi sakin ol, bırak. Sakin ol, geç. Sakin ol, hayır.
What is even happening?
Dude, that's amazing. Also, Zane, shut up about lane splitting. It's the best thing about being on a motorcycle. It's not legal in Georgia, so technically you shouldn't do it, but I highly recommend doing it. In Los Angeles, it's perfectly legal, and it's the only reason that I could get from the Valley to Santa Monica Beach in 25 minutes, no matter the time of day or year. It was the best. Lane splitting is the bomb. So, all right, here's a comedian sharing a hot take.
What annoys you the most about people in wheelchairs?
Fat people shouldn't be allowed to use wheelchairs. That shit is cultural appropriation. If you can fix your problem by just getting up and walking more, you're not disabled. They're not like us. That's stolen valor, dude. They're being lazy. You can fix your problem. I can't. God fucked me, okay? I'm done for.
What do you think these fat people could do more of?
Walk! Get those fucking steps in. I'm trying, okay? I work so hard for 5 steps and y'all can't even take 1. You just sit and you eat McDonald's in the fucking wheelchair all day. God, this is my culture. It's not your costume, dude. You can't do that.
Are they more valid if the fat person lost their leg from diabetes?
This gets me into something else, bro. Amputees are not like that. All right, you just got a chunk missing. Just because you're really good at hopscotch and you get half off on shoes does not mean you're better than me. They get all the money, all the media coverage. They were normal. That's their fault. It's their fault.
What about people that break their leg like that?
Poser.
What annoys you?
Oh, man.
I mean,
that got
good.
Me.
It's a good take. Like, it's a good take. All right, here's a new strategy for solicitors who go door to door.
Hi, thanks for answering the door. Let me show you what's wrong with your roof. Hi, thanks for answering the door. Let me show you what's wrong with your roof.
always closing.
That's so good. Zane, have you come across any solicitors since you've gotten a house?
I have not.
I got quite a few like phone and cable bullshit when I got here, and then the amount of junk mail you get when you get a new house is just outlandish.
I've gotten approximately 37,000 letters telling me that I need to
you need a screen in your
home
gutter.
warranties.
Yeah.
Don't get the home warranty. It doesn't really pay off. All right, this next one also hit close to home because of our MIA producer.
This guy's really onto something.
I'm forming this theory that you should have like people that are safe around you, and I think right now in the world everybody needs a white guy named Zach. Because if you look at it, I've gone back. There hasn't been very many white guys named Zach arrested. Last one was Zach Bryan, and that was just obstruction of justice. So yeah, you need a white guy named Zach. And especially if you need somebody to talk to the police, it should be a white guy named Zach, because nobody ever questions the Zach. No, you take his word as gospel. If Zach said it, then it's probably true. Yeah, I trust Zach.
I think this guy's really on.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, he hasn't been our producer in a while because he just had a baby, and there were a lot of complications, and he's been tending to his family. So our producer is normally Zach, and actually, I would say this jives exactly with Zach. It's pretty spot on. Exactly. Yeah, we also had a comment on the last one. Ryan Woodcraft said the amount of solar panel salesmen are ridiculous. Yeah. Dude, you are so correct, man. When I had a house in Dunwoody, Georgia, they would come around all the dadgum time. Like, what is it about solar? Is it just because it's so subsidized that there's a huge boom in that market, or
I wonder if it must be if they just have enough money to just send people out into the wilderness door to door. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this last video brought me back to my childhood. So.
Oh crap!
What do you? Can I help you?
No.
What are you doing here?
I'm really sorry. I was going to ding dong ditch you guys. I'm super sorry.
Did your dad know you're out here doing this? I will call him right now.
Yeah, he does know.
I doubt that.
What's the hold up? I've been caught!
Is that your dad?
Yeah.
He goes ding dong ditching with you?
Yeah, he says it's a core childhood memory and he wants to be a part of it.
Gotta go!
Gotta go.
Running. The dad's running.
Oh my god. That's insane.
Dude, that's so stinking funny.
It's a core childhood memory.
I feel like kids probably don't ding dong ditch anymore like they used to when we were growing up. They're on their iPads and cell phones too much.
You got to call it ring dong ditch now because of all the damn ring cameras. Like,
don't make me vomit at the end of the show, man. Come on. Yeah, no, great childhood memories of ding dong ditching, or doing more damage like egging people's houses. Things.
Did you ever
like
poop in a bag and light it on fire on someone's?
We did do that too. Yeah, that was great.
I didn't know you had an option.
Yes, because when you light it, when you poop in a paper bag and you light it on fire, the person comes out of their house thinking they need to put that out, and when they put it out with their foot, now they have human feces all over their feet.
Oh my god! I'm proud to say I've never done that one.
How have you never done that? That seems like it seems like you would have invented it. It seems like you would have invented that, Alden. Yeah, Zane. Zane, you were born when?
2000.
Oh my god. Okay, so did you ever ding dong ditch? First of all,
no.
Okay. Did you never pooped in a bag and left it on somebody's porch?
No.
Did you ever
TP a tree in someone's yard?
Yeah. Did you ever TP somebody's house?
No.
Oh, what did you do as a child?
Did you ever sit on a balloon until
a lot of homework?
Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe you're not the best the best person to ask this question to.
We should do a trivia for Zane where we quiz him on all our fucked up childhoods and see if he knows what we're talking about.
I love this. Yes, nostalgia trivia. I like it.
Oh man, did you ever drink anything that was just sugar dye and water?
Oh well, I've had Hawaiian Punch.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that counts. Ryan wants to know: has Zane ever watched Talladega Nights?
Fair question.
No.
Ooh, lost a point.
Okay, that's your homework tonight, Zane. Watch Talladega Nights.
When we do our trivia, though, you lose points for everything you don't know.
Yeah. Watch Talladega Nights. I need you to come back with 5 quotes that you just have from memory that are not written down. That's the goal here. You need to outdo the amount of Calvin Coolidge quotes that are in your brain currently.
Yeah, I was gonna make a similar comment about where's it gonna rank against Coolidge, though.
Okay, so Alden, you might actually be more familiar with this. Does Zane even know what MD 2020 is? I don't know what MD 2020
I don't know.
is.
I don't
Ryan,
know what that is.
Ryan, you might be a weirdo
Enlighten
in that
us.
regard, man.
Yeah.
Please enlighten us as to what that is. We'll stick around just long enough for you to answer that question, then we'll head on out. But yeah, fantastic show tonight, everybody. Go support Tom Jandron if you support liberty, especially if you're in the state of Montana. Go check it out. Oh, it says you ever had Zima and Starburst?
Yeah, no. Zima.
No, don't.
I know of Zima.
Yeah,
I have no idea what this even means.
Okay.
Zima, it's kind of like the what's that other one that's like the stupid?
It's a wine cooler. It's like a crappy little.
It's like oh my god, what was that drink? Smirnoff Ice.
Yes,
it's like a Smirnoff Ice kind of a thing, and then people
Zane would definitely have had
a Jolly Rancher or a Starburst.
I at least know what a Smirnoff Ice is. I'm not sure I've ever had one. But I've never had one, not because I wouldn't have one. It's just the right opportunity for me to have a Smirnoff Ice has not presented itself.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, Zane.
You've never been to a gas station drunk, like
Zane is definitely in the alley of definitely trying Zima and Starburst.
You gotta try it, yeah.
All right, Mad Dog 2020 is.
I've drank some questionable things at a gas station drunk in Savannah,
Let's see.
Strawberita? That's a bad idea.
So Ryan said, Google Mad Dog 2020, you'll get it.
Oh, I
Here
didn't
it is.
get it from MD.
It is MD 2020, commonly known as Mad Dog 2020, is a discount flavored fortified wine produced by Morgan David.
Yeah.
A kosher wine producer.
Kosher?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Is APAC behind this?
Then yeah, no, we can't have any of that. Let's get this off our stream. Ugh, disgusting, Ryan. What are you even thinking? Oh goodness. Oh yeah, here's a good one. Have you ever played Edward?
I was
40
gonna
Hands?
bring up Edward 40 Hands after that. That's so funny. That was
I'm
on my mind.
afraid I have never played Edward 40.
Okay. Hang on. Zane, do you have any hypothesis as to what Edward 40 Hands is?
I do actually know what Edward 40 Hands is. I've just never partaken.
Okay.
It's
That's
also
fair.
dumb, but I mean, it's all kind of awesome at the same time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like walking around with your other drunk buddy and not being able to grab anything because you have 40s
until you
duct
finish
taped
them, right?
to
Like,
your
yeah.
hands. But the thing is, when you both duct tape them to your hands, you have no one to take the duct tape off once you're done, and so you're just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. All right, y'all. We're going to end it there. Thank y'all so much for tuning into this episode of Liberty Libations. We will see you next week. We're going to have some more great guests over the next few weeks. I'm not sure if we're going to have one next week or not, but over the next month, we're going to have some good guests. It's going to be very interesting. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Libertarian Party and what happened at convention and what's happening behind the scenes to maybe rob liberty from a lot of folks here in this country. So, stay tuned for that. We're going to be releasing some great interviews, and we're going to be commenting on the interviews as well. So come back next week for more Liberty Libations. We'll see you then. Drink and be free.